What's up, fam? What up, squad fam? Dang, there's already 4 of you guys watching. Wait a minute, let me check the chat. Brazil. What am I? Yeah. This is it. Restore order within our peoples. Alright, I gotta check for editing error or like recording errors. Hi. Yes, they do. So how are you guys liking Stranger Things? Because I'm loving it. Oh, I'm loving it. Alright, did anyone notice any audio errors? Because I didn't. I just need to make sure that it's good. And this is what we call the boring part. It's watching 5.5 hours of Vietnam War footage.
and the air is heavy and humid. Until now, the enemy has held sway here. And the air is heavy and humid. Until now, the enemy has held sway here. Miles north of the little town of Dak To, the airborne engineers erect a crude bridge. A few miles beyond lies an American Special Forces camp. It has been under siege by the Viet Cong for nearly a week. Supplies and ammunition are badly needed, and relief troops must get through. The first of the trucks begins crossing.
My grandpa drove a truck in Vietnam, and he ran over a kid, and his family beat the shit out of him.
Throughout the morning, they have rained shells.
That's how we got his Purple Heart.
The camp. Now, with fresh supplies of ammunition,
and I'm not even kidding, like for real, like that's how we got it.
Each time the shelling starts, the enemy withdraws his attacking forces to escape the punishing fires. When it is lifted, he regroups and again tries to take the camp. Despite week-long airstrikes by U.S. Air Force jets, the Viet Cong have shown no signs of withdrawing. But the artillery fire, directed by those defending the outpost, is having a telling effect.
Okay.
The Screaming Eagles are under fire. The enemy has come to silence the guns. Communist fire comes from everywhere.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna finish recording this, and then I'm gonna go to bed. It's like, Jesus, it's freaking late. It's 11:46, so I will hit you guys up tomorrow.
The enemy is creeping in.
So after this is done recording, I'm gonna go to bed.
Is agony. Then the enemy makes his move. This is it. Live or die.
Yo, boys, keep those subs coming in.
In the forefront, General Pearson, the boss, here in hell. From Bastogne to Vietnam, the tradition remains unbroken, magnificent. The Screaming Eagle. The battle wanes. A small part of Operation Hawthorne is over. Some of the men of the 101st will fight no more. But for this day, the bastions of freedom held. They came from the north, a full battalion. Their weapons, not ours, have been silenced. Throughout the oppressive days and nights of June 1966, Operation Hawthorne continued. In the violent conflict which rages in Kon Tum province, the Screaming Eagles repeatedly beat back prize troop units of the North Vietnamese Army. In 16 straight days of combat,
M16s are way older.
The 24th North Vietnamese Army Regiment and more than 500 of the communist aggressors are killed. It is the largest single battle of the war for the men of the 101st. The bitter struggle to preserve the freedom of this little Asian nation is made more bearable as each man is enriched in spirit and strengthened in his resolve.
Little Asian nation.
At last, the fighting is done. All the world had heard about the gallant Screaming Eagles and the battles of Operation Hawthorne. In recognition of their outstanding victory in Kon Tum province, the premier of South Vietnam, Nguyen Cao Ky, comes to the little town of Dak To. Premier Ky and the deputy premier express the gratitude of their nation in a way that fighting men can understand. These are some of the weapons taken from the enemy, the premier is told. In the hands of the communists, the arms of China, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Russia, and even a variety of United States, French, and British weapons, which were fallen into those same enemy hands. Living evidence of the North Vietnamese regular army, 6 out of the 22 taken alive by the Screaming Eagles. Premier Ky confronts the aggressors. "You are lucky the Americans have taken you," he smiled. On the 21st of July, following surveillance operations along the Laotian and Cambodian borders, the brigade returns to Tuy Hoa.
No, you.
A new operation labeled John Paul Jones gets underway.
Nedu,
Its
Cora.
purpose is to open and secure a 16-mile stretch of National Highway 1 between Tuy Hoa and Vung Ro Bay on the coast. The accomplishment of this mission will speed up logistic support of the Tuy Hoa area.
How long is this
by permitting
video?
ships to unload
What do you
at the
mean?
nearby bay.
Oh, it's 14 minutes.
It begins with elements of the 502nd
But man, I'm gonna
Infantry
need,
landing
like,
at the cliff
you
guard
know,
at Vung Ro Bay,
probably a couple
where, without
hours of
encountering
footage.
resistance, they begin moving inland to link up with the oncoming units of the 327th.
Ooh, that's a good shot. I like that. I really like that.
The inland forces push forward, securing the highway and sweeping the adjoining countryside. Supported by helicopter gunships, heliborne assault troops clean out the operational zone within 6 weeks.
Sneak
By
100.
early September 1966, they have secured Vung Ro Bay and Highway 1 north to Tuy Hoa. Sweeping through the mountains, the brigade captures 40 North Vietnamese and Viet Cong and kills 200.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
While Operation John Paul Jones is still in progress, the engineers begin construction work on the connecting highway between Vung Ro Bay and Highway 1. The Screaming Eagles have done their job well, and a new seaport is born. In the weeks which follow, the brigade protects the rice farmers as they harvest some 17,000 metric tons of the precious grain. Once again, the Tuy Hoa sector becomes a battlefield, and the Viet Cong suffer heavy losses, with 239 killed and 42 captured.
I'm back.
The Viet Cong have had enough. They are nowhere to be found.
They're in the trees!
11 Vietnamese are found, however, in a Viet Cong prison camp. They have apparently received no medical attention while in the hands of the communists. Held by the Viet Cong for several months, their ailments range from open sores and skin infections to malnutrition, as well as deformities caused by unset broken bones. This man, a former Viet Cong who defected to the Republic and was later captured by the VC, cannot tell of his
My man's
unspeakable
like,
nightmare.
what?
On the 9th of December, the odyssey of the brigade continues. From Tuy Hoa, back up north to Kon Tum province. The Viet Cong have been cleared from Phu Yen province by this time, and the Screaming Eagles are moved to the north in a record 48 hours by the U.S. Air Force.
Hi, Peter.
The deployment of the brigade.
Yeah,
by means of parachute
I'm finishing
marks the first
recording,
jump in more than a year for many of the men.
just this video, and I'm
They're in
gonna
superb
start up
physical
back
condition,
tomorrow.
and the jump
Alright?
goes well.
Because I have to go to
As
bed. It's like
1966
12.
draws to a close, the brigade
Yeah, it's
was sent
11:45.
upon Kon Tum province to take part in Operation Picket, fighting side by side with Vietnamese army forces and militia. The men of the 101st once again will scour the countryside, finding and finishing the enemy.
Aw, you know what would suck? If I just, like, wasn't recording?
The operations in Kon Tum province continue until the 21st of January, 1967. Then, after more than a year's absence from their home base at Phan Rang, the brigade is ordered back for a rest. It seems a long time since the LSTs first moved the brigade up to Kin Yong as they headed for their first combat around An Khe. Now, the LSTs are taking them home. On the 26th, the last convoy rolls into camp at Phan Rang. Brigadier General Willard Pearson welcomes the men home. It will be one of his
Yeah,
last
I'll
official
make
acts
sure the
as
cat
brigade
posts
commander.
don't bite. God damn. It's
2
sad.
days
All
later,
my subscribers
General
are
Pearson transfers
can't
command of the 1st
subscribe.
Brigade, 101st Airborne Division to the new
My
brigade
statistics are
commander,
dying.
Brigadier General S.H. Matheson. The battle-hardened troops watch with solemn pride as Lieutenant General Engler pins the Legion of Merit on the uniform of their departing commander. So the Screaming Eagles bid farewell to the commander who led them in 14 combat operations from one end of Vietnam to the other. For the Screaming Eagles,
is the
as
same
for the rest
scene.
of the United States military forces in Vietnam, the valiant effort to keep that young nation free continues. However far removed from our shores, the conflict between those who cherish human dignity and those who would snuff it out affects us all. In this belief, the gallant men of the United States Army stand steadfast, not only in Southeast Asia.
What do you mean a game?
But wherever
This
they
is a
may be
video,
asked to
and I'm
serve
making
in
another
freedom's
video.
cause.
Alright, see y'all tomorrow.